Take a slow, gentle breath, and for the next little while, allow yourself to rest. You do not have to solve everything right now. You do not have to understand everything. You do not have to carry tomorrow, today. This moment is not asking anything from you. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing you need to prove. Nothing you need to pretend. You have stepped into a quiet sanctuary, a place where your heart can become still, a place where you can lay down the thoughts that have been circling endlessly. And remember that you are held in the loving hands of God. So breathe in slowly and breathe out gently. Let your shoulders soften. Unclench your hands. Allow the tension in your face to ease. You may have arrived here feeling tired. Perhaps your heart has been racing, your thoughts moving from one worry to another, your mind replaying conversations, imagining everything that could go wrong, trying desperately to find an answer. Perhaps you have been carrying a situation that feels beyond your control, a decision you do not know how to make, a relationship you do not know how to repair, a financial burden that keeps you awake at night, a health concern, a family member you are worried about, a prayer that still seems unanswered, or perhaps you cannot even explain why you feel anxious. You only know that something inside you feels unsettled. Something feels heavy. Something feels uncertain. And you are longing for peace. My friend, God sees you here. He sees the thoughts you have shared with no one. He sees the questions behind your smile. He sees every moment when you have tried to remain strong, even though inside you felt as though you were falling apart. He knows what you have been carrying, and He is not disappointed in you because you feel anxious. He is not standing at a distance, waiting for you to become stronger. He is drawing near. The Bible tells us that God is close to the brokenhearted. He is close to the weary, close to the overwhelmed, close to the person who whispers through tears. Lord, I do not know what to do. You do not need perfect words today. You do not need a polished prayer. You can come to Him exactly as you are. You can simply say, God, I am tired. God, I am afraid. God, I do not understand. God, please help me. And even before the words leave your lips, He already knows. He understands the language of a trembling heart. He understands the tears that fall when you cannot explain what is wrong. He understands the silence, and He welcomes you into His presence with tenderness, not condemnation, not impatience, tenderness. Imagine for a moment that you are placing every worry into God's hands, one by one, slowly, gently. Place the thing you fear most into His hands. Place the conversation you keep replaying into His hands. Place the outcome you cannot control into His hands. Place the person you love into His hands. Place your future into His hands. Place your unanswered prayer into His hands. You may not know what will happen next, but you know who is holding you, and the one who holds you will not let you go. The words, "let go" and "let God" do not mean that you stop caring. They do not mean that you ignore your responsibilities. They do not mean that you pretend the problem is not real. Letting go means accepting that you were never meant to carry the entire weight alone. It means doing what you can and trusting God with what you cannot do. It means praying, taking the next faithful step, and releasing the outcome into His hands. It means saying, "Lord, I have reached the end of my own strength. I cannot see the whole road ahead, but I trust that you can." There is a deep peace that begins to grow when we stop demanding that we understand every detail. We often believe that peace will come when all our questions are answered, when the situation changes, when the door finally opens, when the test result comes back, when the money arrives, when the relationship is restored, when we know exactly what the future holds. But the peace of God is different. God's peace can meet you before the answer comes. It can hold you while the situation is still uncertain. It can steady you while you are still waiting. It can whisper, "You are safe with me, even here." In Proverbs, we are told to trust in the Lord with all our hearts and not to lean only on our own understanding. That can be difficult because our minds want explanations. We want to know why something happened. We want to know how it will end. We want to know when relief will come. But our understanding is limited to what we can see today. God sees the full picture. He sees what came before this moment, what is happening now, and what lies ahead. He sees the doors that must remain closed because they would lead you away from His best. He sees the delays that are protecting you. He sees the people He is preparing. He sees the strength that is being formed within you. He sees the path, even when all you can see is fog. Trusting God's plan does not mean believing that every painful thing was sent by Him. We live in a world where hearts break. People disappoint us. Bodies become tired. Plans change. Loss comes. But even in the things God did not desire for us, He is still able to work. He can bring purpose out of pain, wisdom out of confusion, compassion out of suffering, new beginnings out of endings. Romans 8 reminds us that God works through all things for the good of those who love Him. Not only the beautiful things, not only the easy things, all things, even the chapter you would never have chosen, even the season you wish you could erase, even the delay you do not understand, even the door that closed without warning. God is still writing. This is not the end of your story. You may be standing in the middle of a chapter, judging the entire story by one painful page. But God sees the ending. He knows where He is leading you, and what feels like a breaking point may become a turning point. What feels like a delay may be a place of preparation. What feels like rejection may be redirection. What feels like emptiness may become the space where God plants something new. You do not need to force the next chapter open. You can trust the author. Take another slow breath, and as you breathe out, quietly release the need to know everything. You do not have to know how God will make a way. You only need to know that He can. Think of how God has carried you before. There were days in your past when you did not know how you would make it through. There were nights when you thought the sadness would never lift. There were situations that seemed impossible. Yet somehow, you are still here. Perhaps you are not completely healed. Perhaps some questions remain. But you survived moments that once felt unsurvivable. God gave you strength for days you thought would destroy you. He placed people in your path. He opened doors. He gave you wisdom. He protected you from things you may never fully know about. He carried you quietly, sometimes so quietly that you only recognized His hand when you looked back. The God who carried you then is carrying you now. He has not changed. His faithfulness has not weakened. His love for you has not diminished. You may feel different. Your circumstances may have changed, but God remains the same. When anxiety speaks, it often speaks loudly. It says, "What if everything goes wrong? What if you are not strong enough? What if God does not answer? What if you lose what matters most?" Anxiety asks endless questions, but rarely waits for an answer. It pulls you into a future that has not happened and asks you to fight battles that may never come. God gently brings you back to today. Jesus taught us not to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will have its own concerns. Today has enough of its own. This does not mean that planning is wrong. It means that we are not meant to live emotionally inside a future we have not reached. God gives grace for today. He gives strength for this moment. When tomorrow comes, His grace will already be waiting there. You do not need tomorrow's strength yet. You need today's strength. And today, God is with you, right here, right now. He is with you in the room where you are listening. He is with you in the uncertainty. He is with you in the waiting. He is with you in the decision. He is with you in the silence. He is with you when your faith feels strong. And He is with you when all you can manage is a whispered prayer. You are not facing this alone. Allow those words to settle deeply into your heart. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You have not been abandoned. God is with you. Perhaps you have been wondering why God feels silent. You have prayed, but nothing seems to be moving. You have asked for direction, but you still do not know what to do. Silence can feel frightening, but silence does not mean absence. A seed grows beneath the soil long before anything can be seen above the ground. Roots are forming in hidden places. Life is moving, even when the surface appears unchanged. God often does His deepest work where no one can see it. He may be working in another person's heart. He may be arranging circumstances. He may be preparing you for an answer you are not yet ready to carry. He may be building patience, wisdom, discernment, or courage. You may not see movement, but heaven is not inactive. Trust does not always feel like certainty. Sometimes trust sounds like, "Lord, I still feel afraid, but I choose to place this in your hands." Sometimes faith is not a powerful declaration. Sometimes faith is simply getting out of bed, taking one more breath, praying one more prayer, choosing not to give up. Faith can tremble and still be faith. You do not need to feel fearless before you trust God. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking God's hand while fear is still present. The Lord said in Isaiah, "Do not fear, for I am with you." Notice that He did not say, "Do not fear because nothing difficult will ever happen." He said, "Do not fear, for I am with you." The promise is His presence. You may walk through deep waters, but you will not walk through them alone. You may face a fire, but the fire will not have the final word. You may enter a valley, but even there, the shepherd walks beside you. Psalm 23 does not say that we will never walk through dark valleys. It tells us that when we do not have to be afraid because God is with us. The valley is not your permanent home. You are walking through it. There is movement in those words. You are passing through. This season has a boundary. This pain has an ending. this darkness will not last forever. There is another side, and God knows the way there. Sometimes we become exhausted because we keep trying to control things that only God can control. We try to control how other people think, how they respond, whether they stay, whether they understand us. We try to control timing, opportunities, outcomes, the future. But control creates the illusion of safety while quietly draining our peace. The truth is, we can make wise choices, speak with love, work diligently, and pray faithfully. But we cannot control every result. That belongs to God. There is freedom in recognizing the difference between your responsibility and God's responsibility. Your responsibility may be to make the phone call. God's responsibility is what happens after it. Your responsibility may be to apologize sincerely. God's responsibility is how the other person receives it. Your responsibility may be to apply for the opportunity. God's responsibility is which door opens. Your responsibility may be to seek help and follow wise advice. God's responsibility is the timing of the healing. Your responsibility is obedience. The outcome belongs to Him. You are allowed to release what was never yours to carry. Perhaps you have been blaming yourself for something that did not work out. You have wondered whether you prayed enough, whether you had enough faith, whether you made the wrong decision, whether you ruined God's plan for your life. Listen gently. Your life is not so fragile that one mistake can place you beyond the reach of God. God is able to redeem wrong turns. He is able to restore lost years. He is able to guide you from where you are now. You may have made mistakes, but you have not become a mistake. You may regret parts of your past, but your past does not disqualify you from a future filled with purpose. God's grace is greater than your worst decision. His mercy is new every morning. You can begin again, even here, even now. You do not have to punish yourself forever for something God is willing to forgive. Bring it to Him. Be honest, receive His mercy, and then allow Him to lead you forward. The enemy wants you to believe that because you cannot see the path, there is no path. But God often reveals direction, one step at a time. A lamp does not light an entire journey. It gives enough light for the next step. Perhaps you keep asking God for a map while He is offering you His hand. You may not need to see 10 years ahead. You may only need enough courage for today. What is the next gentle, faithful step? Perhaps it is resting. Perhaps it is asking for help. Perhaps it is making a decision you have been avoiding. Perhaps it is forgiving someone. Perhaps it is forgiving yourself. Perhaps it is returning to prayer. After a long silence, perhaps it is simply saying, God, I am willing to be led. You do not need to run. God is not rushing you. Walk with Him, one step, one day, one prayer at a time. When your thoughts begin racing again, return to what is true. You can say, God is with me. I am held. I do not have to solve tomorrow today. God will give me wisdom when I need it. This feeling will pass. My fear is not a prophecy. God's plan is still unfolding. I can release what I cannot control. I am not alone. The Bible tells us to bring our requests to God with prayer and thanksgiving, and that His peace will guard our hearts and minds. Prayer does not always change the situation immediately, but prayer changes the place from which we face the situation. We move from isolation into God's presence, from panic into prayer, from carrying everything alone into surrender. God's peace becomes like a guard at the door of your heart. The circumstances may still be uncertain, but fear no longer has unrestricted access. When anxiety returns, and sometimes it will, you have not failed. Simply return to God again. Surrender is rarely a once-off moment. Sometimes we lay the burden down in the morning and pick it up again before lunchtime. Then we lay it down again and again and again. God is patient with that process. He does not say, "You already gave this to me. Why are you worried again?" He welcomes you back each time. Like a loving father, He opens His arms and says, "Give it to me again." So give it to Him again as many times as you need to. Let go and let God carry what is too heavy for you. Let go of the belief that everything depends on you. Let go of the pressure to always appear strong. Let go of the timeline you thought your life had to follow. Let go of comparing your journey with someone else's. Let go of the door that God has closed. Let go of the conversation you cannot change. Let go of the future you keep trying to predict. Let go of the need to understand before you trust. Let go, not into emptiness, but into the hands of God. There is a difference. You are not simply releasing your worry into the air. You are placing it with someone who loves you, someone who sees the whole story, someone who is wise, someone who is faithful, someone who gave everything to bring you close. You are releasing your life into the hands that formed you, the hands that have never stopped holding you. Imagine God saying to your heart, "My child, you have carried this long enough. Come closer, rest here. You do not have to be afraid of what lies ahead. I am already there. You do not have to understand every delay. Trust my timing. You do not have to force every door. What I have for you will not pass you by. You do not have to carry every person you love. Place them in my hands. You do not have to fight every battle alone. Be still and allow me to be God. Be still and know that I am God. These words from Psalm 46 are not a harsh command. They are an invitation. Be still because God is still in control. Be still because you are safe in His presence. Be still because the battle does not belong to you alone. Be still because God has not forgotten His promises. Stillness does not mean that nothing is happening. It means that your soul has stopped fighting for control. It means you have chosen to rest beneath the covering of God's love, like a child falling asleep in the arms of a trusted parent. You do not need to understand how every problem will be solved. You rest because you trust the one holding you. God's plan for your life may not look exactly as you imagined. There may have been unexpected turns, delays, losses, endings you did not choose. But different does not mean ruined. Delayed does not mean denied. Hidden does not mean forgotten. You may feel behind, but you cannot be behind when you are walking with God. Your journey is not required to match anyone else's. Some lives unfold quickly. Others develop slowly, with deep roots, quiet growth, and beauty that appears in its own time. Do not despise the slow work of God. A tree that will stand through storms must first grow roots in darkness. His waiting season may be giving you roots of faith, roots of wisdom, roots of compassion, roots that will hold you steady when the blessing comes. Trust the hidden work. Trust the quiet preparation. Trust that God knows when the time is right. You do not have to chase what He has appointed for you. You do not have to manipulate every circumstance. You can live faithfully where you are and trust God to guide what comes next. Jesus pointed to the birds and reminded His followers that the Father feeds them. He spoke of flowers clothed in beauty, without striving or fear. And then He reminded us that we are worth far more to God. You are precious to Him. You are not a burden. Your needs matter. Your tears matter. Your future matters. If God watches over the smallest parts of creation, He has not overlooked you. You may not always receive what you want in the way you expect, but you will never face a day that God has not already seen. He will provide what you need to walk through it. Strength for difficult moments, comfort for grieving hearts, wisdom for complicated choices, people to support you, grace when you stumble, mercy when you begin again. You may not receive everything at once, but there will be daily bread, grace for today. And when tomorrow arrives, there will be fresh grace there too. Take a slow breath. Let that truth surround you. There will be grace for tomorrow. You do not have to store it today. Today, you are invited to rest, to trust, to breathe, to remember. God has brought you this far. He will not leave you halfway. The work He began in you, He is faithful to complete. Your story is still unfolding. There are prayers that will be answered in ways you cannot yet imagine. There are moments of joy that have not yet happened. There are people you have not yet met. There are places where your story will bring comfort to someone else. There are mornings when you will wake and realize that the pain no longer holds the same power. There are days ahead when you will look back at this season and see that God was present in every step. Perhaps you will recognize how He protected you, how He redirected you, how He strengthened you, how He used even this anxious season to teach your heart that peace is not found in having control. Peace is found in knowing God. The path to peace is not a life without uncertainty. It is a life walked with the one who is certain. It is knowing that whatever happens, God will remain. Whatever changes, His love will remain. Whoever leaves, He will remain. Whatever door closes, He will remain. When your own strength is gone, He will remain. And because God remains, hope remains. You are loved with an everlasting love, not because you have done everything correctly, not because your faith never shakes, not because you always feel close to Him. You are loved because love is who God is. Nothing about this difficult season has changed His heart toward you. He is not frustrated with your tears. He is not embarrassed by your weakness. He is not tired of hearing your prayers. He is close, closer than the fear, closer than the uncertainty, closer than the thoughts racing through your mind. And right now, you can rest in that love. Allow it to wrap around you like a warm covering, a sanctuary, a place where your weary heart can stop running. You are safe to breathe here, safe to be honest, safe to release what you have been holding. You do not need to have everything figured out before you leave this quiet moment. You only need to live with one truth: God is with you, and because God is with you, you can face the next moment. You can take the next step. You can walk into the unknown, not alone, but held. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I come to you exactly as I am. You see the anxiety within me. You know every fear, every unanswered question, and every burden I have been trying to carry alone. Lord, I am tired of fighting battles in my mind. I am tired of imagining everything that could go wrong. I am tired of trying to control what only you can control. Today, I place it all into your hands. I give you my future. I give you my family. I give you my health. I give you my relationships. I give you my finances. I give you my dreams. I give you every closed door, every delay, and every unanswered prayer. Please forgive me for the moments when I have trusted my fear more than I have trusted you. Help me to remember that my feelings are real, but they are not always telling me the truth. Fear says, I am alone, but your word says, you are with me. Fear says, there is no way forward, but you are the God who makes a way. Fear says, I will not survive this, but you have carried me through every difficult day before. Teach me to trust you one day at a time. When I cannot see the full path, give me light for the next step. When I feel weak, be my strength. When my thoughts become restless, guard my heart and mind with your peace. When I pick the burden up again, gently remind me to place it back into your hands. Lord, help me to trust your timing. Help me to believe that a delay is not abandonment, that silence is not absence, that a closed door does not mean my story is over. Work through every part of my life, even the parts I do not understand. Bring healing from pain, wisdom from disappointment, purpose from the seasons I would never have chosen, and hope from the places where I have felt hopeless. Father, hold the person listening now. Let them feel your presence surrounding them. Quiet the racing thoughts. Ease the tightness in their chest. Bring rest to their tired body. Remind them that they do not have to carry tomorrow today. Let your love become a sanctuary around them. Let your peace settle gently over their mind, their home, and their circumstances. Where there is confusion, bring guidance. Where there is fear, bring courage. Where there is loneliness, bring the comfort of your presence. Where there is grief, bring tenderness. Where there is exhaustion, bring deep rest. And where hope has grown faint, breathe new life. We choose to trust you, not because we understand everything, but because we know you are faithful. Not because the road is easy, but because you are walking with us. Not because we can see the ending, but because you are already there. Today, we let go and we let you be God. We release the outcome. We release the timing. We release the need to control every detail. and we receive your peace. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for hearing us. Thank you for carrying what we cannot carry. Thank you that we are never alone. In Jesus' name, Amen. Remain here for another moment. Do not rush away. Breathe slowly. The problem may still be there, but you are no longer carrying it alone. The future may still be uncertain, but the one holding your future is faithful. The answer may not have arrived, but peace can arrive before the answer. Let your final thought be this: God is working. God is near. God is faithful. You are held. You are loved. And you are never, ever alone. Let go and let God. He will carry you from here.